Hey everyone, this is Marie with Birth Bliss. So I am going to show you today how to do like the most restorative pose. It's the best. My prenatal yoga students often ask for this one because it feels so nice. And I feel like it's like a little bit of a love pose for your legs. So I will explain, actually maybe I should start by saying why you'd want to do this. First of all, it is great for your legs. So it's great for swelling, for restless legs, for heavy legs, for varicose veins. So any sort of trouble with your legs in pregnancy, this one is going to give the legs a lot of support. And then I also love it because it's great for emotional well-being. So especially emotional overwhelm, this is just gonna, so that's why I love this pose. Okay, so now it's an easy pose, but if you're just looking at a picture of it and you don't know how to get into it, it can seem tricky. So that's why I wanted to make this video. So the first thing you're gonna need is a spot like this where you've got some wall. Then you're gonna need your yoga mat and ideally a bolster. Something like this would be awesome if you have a bolster. They are so worthwhile, but I know they're a bit of an investment. So if you don't have a bolster, you can also use a wool blanket, something that doesn't compress. Works really well. So I'm going to demo it with both the blanket and the bolster so that you can for sure do this at home no matter what supplies you have. Okay, so let's get going. So the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to unroll your yoga mat and put it in half like so, and you're going to take it right by the wall, kind of like this. Now, you want to place your mat so that you can sit down like this, and there's room for you and baby and belly, right? And you'll notice that I'm sitting right next to the wall. Now here's the really critical part, is when you're gonna lay yourself down, you need your shoulder to be at the edge of the mat, because the pose is called legs up the wall, by the way. So when you have your shoulder right at the edge of the mat and you've got your bum quite close to the wall, then when you roll, and this is all you have to do is roll, you're going to be straight in the middle of the mat, okay? If you try to do this by putting your shoulder sort of in the middle of the mat, kind of like this, you're going to get stuck and you won't be able to sort of roll up and it'll be uncomfortable. And if you do end up managing, you'll end up sort of half off the mat, okay? So I know some of you are thinking, oh, but I'm not supposed to lay on my back in pregnancy. We're not actually going to be flat on our backs. We're actually going to be in a very gentle inversion. This is wonderful for the vast majority of pregnant women. If, however, you get into this pose and you don't feel good, because really this pose feels awesome. So if it doesn't feel awesome, that means it's not right for your body at this time. And that's all you need to use. It's such an easy way to assess whether or not a posture is good for your body. Because pregnancy, things are changing all the time. So if you get into this pose and it doesn't feel good, just come back down out. Easy peasy. All right, so you're gonna make sure that your bolster or your blanket is close by. You want to make your blanket a little bit like a bolster. So I have folded this, and now I'm just going to loosely roll it. So what I'm creating essentially is a bit of a low bolster. Sometimes pregnant women actually prefer this to the bolster because it's not quite as high, okay? So I'm going to keep these close by so I can pull them in, and I'm going to show you why in a sec. All right, so I'm getting ready to do this posture. I've got space for my feet there. I'm putting my bum close to the wall. I'm getting my shoulder right on that edge, and I'm rolling up. Okay, now we're gonna add the height. So if you're doing this with the bolster, you're gonna put your feet on the wall. You're gonna lift your hips, and you're just gonna slide the bolster in. Now, in this version, we really want the bolster under the small of our back. So not under your hips, that would be under your hips. It will not feel as good. Put it right into the small of your back so you kind of curve over it. And then your hands just come out to the sides like this. And your feet go up the wall. And it should, like I said, feel kind of like bliss. All right, I'll show you the other version. So you're going to lift your hips up and you're going to slide your blanket. Now the blanket, because it's lower than the bolster, sometimes this one actually does feel better right under the hips. So if you see I've placed it right under my hips right now, it's not in the small of the back, it's actually under my hips, and that feels better. But just test it out and let your body tell you. And then again, you're just going to put your hands down to the sides and let your eyes close. And just take some really nice deep breaths. You can hang out here for about 5 minutes. You're gonna feel like all the pressure just kind of like releases out of the legs. I'm sure during pregnancy someone's told you to put your feet up. Well, this is like the ultimate, putting your feet up. And if there are moments when, let's say in the evening, you're really tired, but let's say that you have to go out and you don't have time to have a nap, do this one for 5-10 minutes and it will restore your energy. That's why it's called a restorative pose. It nurtures the whole body systems, right? So you just hang out here like this. Put some beautiful music on and chill. And then when you're ready to leave this pose, again, just put your feet onto the wall. Slide that out of the way. Put your feet back down and roll to your side. And here it's actually really important to take a breath because you've been in an inversion, so we've got a bit more blood in our heads. And when you do come up, use your head. Take a nice deep inhale as you come up so that you feel good coming out of this pose. You can safely do this one every day. It's a great bedtime pose because, again, it really helps to put the body into that rest, digest, parasympathetic side of your nervous system that's all associated with relaxation. So try it out. Let me know how it goes. And yeah, I'll keep posting other videos as I'm inspired. But if there's questions that you have, please send them to me, and I'll make videos for that too. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great day.